Hello and welcome to another episode of Tips and Ideas with Ed Wallace of Midwest Landscaping, www.uniqueenvironments.com. Well, we're here in Mission Viejo, California. Our project is complete. We have our landscape completed. We're a total front yard makeover, and we have a dry stream bed. We have simulated some water with some nice glass, some rounded glass going through the middle. We have decomposed granite in our planter bed area. The client has a nice little footbridge that she wanted to have in. And we have a rain chain that's going to go up right here. It's going to go right over top of this basin area here for the dry stream bed. I noticed that they do have their new bird bath that they're going to be installing right over in this area over here. And we have all of our landscape plants in. We have some beautiful desert mallow, some gardenias. So as the client comes in and the guests come into the house, they'll have a really nice fragrant smell coming into the house. We have some gardenias. You've noticed one of them is already blossoming out right now. This is a gardenia vichais, ever blooming. And so they're kind of lining the entry point as you come into the house. We have some lavender, which are doing really good after a couple of days of planting. Some lavender, English lavender, and we have some sun drops right here, which are some very drought tolerant, drought resistant types of plant material. And we have our salvia Wolford Gilman over here, which throws a very nice shadow on the wall from this uplight here. It'll grow out, Cleveland sage. It'll grow up to be a really nice, beautiful plant, and also provide some very aromatic fragrances as the clients come home. And as you walk down through here, we have some more salvia. What this particular variety is called Hot Lips, has a very beautiful flower on it. And manzanita, we have a manzanita Howard McMinn, more of a smaller variety of manzanita, and we have a manzanita herd, which is more of a tree form type of manzanita. So we have all our plants in, all of our mulch is down. I tested out the dry stream bed by filling it with water, so it flows out really well. So everything is going really good here from the standpoint of the landscape design and the installation. And if you notice all these little cups around here, we're going to do an irrigation audit to make sure that our water is going to be efficient, and also we'll be able to set up a watering schedule. And the Hydro Rain watering schedule application, we have a program that's put together by Hydro Rain out of Salt Lake, Utah. And that particular watering schedule, we will go in, we put in the cups, the measuring cups, in this little stand, this little plastic stand. We measured off 2 foot from each one of the sprinkler heads. The sprinkler head here, and we measured 2 feet over, and we installed the stand, and also these application cups. Actually, these cups here, these auditing cups, and they're graduated out by meters and also by inches. And so we'll measure, we'll turn the sprinkler system on for a certain amount of time and be able to get these cups filled with water. So we'll run the sprinkler system for approximately like about 10 minutes or so, and see how much water is going to accumulate in each one of these cups. And by measuring the amount of water in each one of these cups, we'll be able to assess the efficiency of the irrigation system on how the water is falling on the property, so that we'll have a consistency of water being applied. And also in areas where we need to make adjustments, we can be able to make adjustments by changing the nozzles out. We have MP rotator nozzles that we've installed. Some of the nozzles are 300 series, some are 1000 series, which means they're 10 foot. Some are 800 series, which are 8 foot. We have some side strips in here. But by running the different zones one at a time, we'll be able to assess how much water is being applied to the landscape, and be able to make the adjustments by going into the program and adjusting the program based on the watering needs of the plants, but also the application rate and saturation rate of the water. We have this mulch down here, and the mulch is going to be able to retain quite a bit of moisture as you can see from the last watering, it's pretty moist down here, so we'll be able to cut back on our watering because of the mulch, which is very helpful. And we did keep the mulch away from the trunks of the plants so we don't get any root rot. So basically all the mulch is around the perimeter of the root ball, and we'll be able to retain that moisture for the plant materials. You can see it's quite moist all around here, and so we'll be able to reduce the amount of water because the mulch is helping us to not only suppress the weeds that possibly could come up, but also help retain the moisture and help reduce the amount of evaporation of the water from the job site. But the catch cups are going to come in handy, and we're going to run this system to get water going for 10 minutes on each station. We have 2 stations here, and then I'll come back and measure the amount of water in each one of the cups and enter that information into our program. And then based on that, we'll have an assessment of what adjustments we can make to get a more uniform application of the water. So the landscape lights are in. We have the Pro Trade Total brass lifetime warranty LED lamps and fixtures. We have the uplights going on. We have our foot lamps going on. The client really loves them so much that she actually ordered 2 more foot lamps, and we put those in today. This one over there, and there's one right here that we put in today. And we have our 2 up lamps that go on the manzanita. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the system here so we can, I'm gonna turn it on manually since I'm right over here, and that way we can be able to see what's happening and get the water going into the catch cans and be able to measure to see where we're at. So now we have our MP rotators going. I got my timer going, so we'll be able to see how much water falls and where it falls. As you notice how it's going into the catch cups as it is now. And this is how we do it in order to get an irrigation audit. As you can see, we got pretty good efficiency right now with the coverage. This is zone 1, but we'll really be able to tell after we do this run after 10 minutes. So stay tuned, and we'll show you how we do the measurements and keep all the calculations and go from there. Ed Wallace, Midwest Landscaping, tips and ideas. At a wrap here in Mission Viejo, California. Stay tuned. www.uniqueenvironments.com.